This video is about Anubis guides lost souls, but chaos spirits attack. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. In the realm of shadows, where the sun's rays dared not tread the great hall of Anubis thrummed with ethereal whispers. The god of the afterlife, clad in his dark robes adorned with golden hieroglyphs, stood resolute. His gaze, deep and penetrating as the void itself, scanned the vast expanse of his domain. Here, lost souls wandered, seeking guidance to navigate their fated journey toward the eternal afterlife. The air crackled with the weight of sorrow and uncertainty as Anubis summoned the souls, their forms swirling like smoke around him. These were the ones who had tread the mortal plane, their lives filled with love and ambition, but now their existence clung to the precipice of oblivion. One by one, he reached out, extending his hand, a beacon of hope in the abyss. "Come forth, children of the mortal realm," Anubis intoned, his voice echoing like thunder in the silence. "Your path leads to the hall of judgment. Trust in my guidance, and you shall find peace." As the souls drew closer, a sudden chill swept through the hall. Shadows deepened, twisting into grotesque forms. These were the chaos spirits, vile entities born from the fractures of the universe itself. With jagged teeth gleaming and eyes like burning coals, they thrived on fear and despair, seeking to disrupt the balance Anubis had sworn to uphold. Foul harbingers of chaos. Anubis bellowed, his voice rising above the cacophony. "Ye dare trespass in my domain?" The spirits cackled, their laughter echoing like nails scraping against stone. "You cannot protect them, Anubis. We feast on their dread and misery. The underworld shall be ours." Determined, the god summoned his staff, the ank of life, its power radiating warmth amidst the encroaching darkness. "You shall not take them. I will uphold my oath, even in the face of your wretched onslaught." As the chaos spirits surged forward, Anubis gathered his divine energy, the air shimmering with light. He raised his staff, summoning a barrier of twilight, a shield formed from the very essence of the underworld. The spirits lunged, colliding violently against the shimmering barrier, their howls a discordant symphony of wrath. Amidst the chaos, a group of souls brave warriors, once celebrated during their lifetimes, began to gather courage, drawing strength from Anubis' presence. Led by a valiant knight named Kale, wielding a sword forged from starlight, they stepped forward, ready to face the encroaching darkness. "Together, we can fight," Kale shouted, his voice piercing through the fear. "We are not mere shadows, we are the echoes of our past, the guardians of our legacy." The other souls rallied behind him, their forms solidifying with newfound resolve. One by one, they drew upon their memories of valor, merging their spirits with the essence of the land. Anubis watched, pride swelling within him as he recognized the spark of honor igniting in their hearts. With a fierce battle cry, Kale and his comrades surged forward, clashing against the chaos spirits. The air erupted in a maelstrom of energy as sword met claw, each blow resonating with the weight of their shared destinies. Anubis, emboldened by their bravery, joined the fray, his staff illuminating the darkness with divine fury. "Strike true, warriors," Anubis commanded, his voice resonating with powerful authority. "For every soul you save, we weaken the hold of chaos." As the battle raged, the chaos spirits retaliated, their forms shifting and writhing, launching tendrils of shadow that sought to ensnare the souls. One spirit, larger than the rest, coalesced into a grotesque figure, its maw stretching wide as it lunged for Kale, intent on swallowing his spirit whole. "Look out!" shouted a warrior named Alara, her voice filled with fierce urgency. Drawing upon her past as an archer of unmatched precision, she loosed an arrow etched with light, piercing the creature escaping maw. The spirit shrieked in agony, recoiling from the force of her attack. "Together!" Kale yelled, rallying the spirits to unite their talents. "Alara, strike again, we must weaken them." With relentless determination, the warriors formed a line, combining their skills: Alara's arrows, Kale's sword blade, and another soul's mastery over flame. They fought as one, forging a collective strength that pulsed through the air, igniting a glimmer of hope amidst the gathering storm. But the chaos spirits were relentless, channeling their power through the chaos of the battlefield. Anubis, sensing the struggle intensifying, called forth the sacred knowledge bestowed upon him by the ancient gods. "Remember your purpose, you fight for the light, for the souls who cannot defend themselves." As the conflict reached its zenith, the spirits of the fallen warriors began to resonate with Anubis' words, their essence intertwining with that of the god. They harnessed the remnants of their earthly bonds, channeling the strength of friendship, loyalty, and sacrifice into a radiant surge. Suddenly, a brilliant light erupted from their united front, forcing back the chaos spirits momentarily. Anubis seized the opportunity, his voice booming like the storm. "Now, strike with all that you are." With a collective roar, the warriors surged forward, their hearts ablaze with purpose. Hail let a sword cleave through darkness, Alara's arrows flew true, and the spirits of the fallen wove their strength into every blow. The once terrifying chaos spirits began to falter, the shadows of their forms dissipating against the might of unity and honor. In the midst of it all, one spirit, a cunning creature, attempted to flee into the deeper shadows. Anubis sensed its retreat and unleashed his divine power. You will not escape, the balance shall be restored. With a swift motion, he summoned the winds of the underworld, swelling them into a tempest that ensnared the spirit. It writhed and howled, but Anubis stood resolute, locking eyes with the embodiment of chaos. Your reign of terror ends here. With a final, furious burst of energy, he banished the spirit into the depths of the void, where it would remain trapped, unable to poison the realm of souls any longer. As the last echoes of battle faded, the hall of Anubis was cloaked in silence, a silence that resonated with victory and loss. The lost souls, though weary, were no longer mere shadows, they were warriors, bound together by their struggle against darkness. Anubis surveyed the aftermath, his heart heavy with the knowledge that though they had triumphed to date, the threat of chaos was ever present. You have fought bravely, my children, he spoke, his voice rich with emotion. But the war is far from over. Hail stepped forward, determination written across his face. We will stand with you, Anubis. Each soul here will fight to protect our legacy, no matter the cost. Anubis nodded, pride swelling in his heart. Then we will prepare. The time for reckoning is nigh, and I will guide you as we face the chaos once more. As the souls gathered around their god, united in purpose, they felt the weight of destiny upon their shoulders. The underworld was the sanctuary, but now it was also the battleground for their very existence. Anubis, the guardian of souls, and his courageous warriors braced themselves for the trials ahead. The path forward would be fraught with peril, betrayal, and divine challenges. Yet within the depths of darkness, they discovered a flicker of light and unwavering bond of hope. With hearts alight with purpose, they prepared to face whatever awaited them, ready to carve their legacy into the annals of eternity. *** End of Part 1 ***. In the heart of the underworld, where shadows lingered like ghosts of lost hopes, Anubis and his brave warriors gathered, their spirits entwined in a bond forged by adversity. The air shimmered with the essence of their souls, each filled with purpose and unyielding resolve, ready to combat the dark forces that sought to corrupt their realm. Prepare yourselves, Anubis declared, his voice a powerful timbre that resonated through the hall. The chaos spirits may have retreated, but their master, the harbinger of dread, will not allow such a defeat to stand. We must ready ourselves, for the storm is far from over. Hail, the valiant knight, stood at the forefront, his starlight sword gleaming with a fierce light, reflecting the determination in his eyes. We will not falter, Anubis, together, we will face whatever darkness dares approach. Let the harbinger come, we will show him the strength of the fallen. Alara, the archer whose arrows had pierced shadows, nodded fervently. We carry our memories, our legacies, and they will guide our hands. We are not alone in this fight, we are united. Her voice, though soft, carried the weight of warriors' promises, echoing through the hall. At that moment, a cold wind swept through the hall, carrying with it echoes of despair. Anubis narrowed his eyes, sensing the disturbance. The harbinger is near, he warned. His minions will swarm like locusts, seeking to consume the hope we have ignited. As if summoned by his words, a cacophony of howls resonated through the chamber, followed by a swirling vortex of darkness. The chaos spirits emerged once more, their twisted forms shifting and writhing like a sea of nightmares. At their helm stood the harbinger, a figure cloaked in shadows, eyes aflame with malice and hunger. His voice, a chilling whisper, slithered into the ears of the gathered souls. Foolish remnants of the past, he sneered, his voice oozing with disdain. You think you have won, I will feast upon your hope, extinguish your flickering light, and reclaim this realm for chaos. The warriors tightened their grips on their weapons, their resolve unyielding. Anubis raised his staff high, the end glowing with radiant energy that illuminated the encroaching darkness. You will find no solace here, harbinger, your reign of terror ends tonight. Bravado will not save you, the harbinger taunted, gesturing with a skeletal hand. Come, my minions, let us show these lost souls their true fate. With a thunderous roar, the chaos spirits surged forward, a tide of darkness crashing against the gathered warriors. Anubis unleashed his divine power, striking the ground with his staff, sending waves of light skating outward. The berries shimmered, holding back the encroaching shadows momentarily. Now, he commanded, his voice firm. Warriors, unite, strike true. Kale, with a fierce cry, charged forward, his sword held high. For honor, for our legacy. His blades cleave through a shadowy spirit, light erupting from the point of contact and scattering the darkness around him. Alara followed, her arrows flying with precision, each imbued with their collective resolve. "Feel our defiance," she shouted as her shots found their marks, illuminating the battlefield with their brilliance. As the battle surged, the warriors found their rhythm. They fought as a cohesive unit, Kale's strength cleaving through enemies, Alara's arrows singing through the air, and another soul, a fierce warrior named Silas, wielding fire against the encroaching shadows. Each attack wove a tapestry of light against the dark. But the chaos spirits, relentless and ravenous, began to encircle them. Shadows twisted into grotesque shapes, lurching forward with claws like daggers. Kale felt the pull of despair as one spirit dove for him, teeth bared. With a powerful swing, he diverted its course, but the sheer weight of the darkness was overwhelming. "Stay strong." Anubis's voice cut through the chaos. "Remember your purpose. Fear cannot hold you. Your light is stronger." With renewed vigor, Kale rallied the souls. "Fight back. We are more than shadows, we are legends reborn." The spirits surged, rising from despair to defiance, igniting their bonds with the fire of determination. The Harbinger, witnessing his minions struggle, roared in fury. "Pathetic souls, you cannot withstand the might of chaos." He reached out a hand, summoning shadows that twisted into monstrous forms, more powerful and grotesque than any spirit that had come before. Alara gasped as she caught sight of a towering creature emerging from the shadows, a mass of writhing tendrils and gnashing teeth. "Kale, we must face that abomination together." "Together," Kale echoed, his heart pounding in his chest. "We will not let fear dictate our fate." As the creature lunged, Kale and Alara stood side by side, determination etched into their features. "Ah!" Kale shouted. With precise movements, they struck in harmony, Alara's arrows finding the creature's vulnerable points while Kale's blades cleaved through its tendrils. "Strike as one." Anubis encouraged, channeling his energy into the warriors. "Let your souls resonate together." In synchronized unity, the fallen warriors joined their essences, merging their strengths. Flames, arrows, and sword strikes became a torrent of light, a radiant force piercing through the darkness. With a final, powerful strike, Kale unleashed a surge of energy, cleaving through the creature's core. The abomination let out a horrific wail, its form disintegrating into the shadows, scattering chaos in its wake. The tide of battle began to turn, the chaos spirits faltering as the light of the warriors shone brighter. But the Harbinger, furious at the loss of his minions, unleashed a barrage of dark energy toward Anubis. "You think you can defy me? I will consume your light and drown you all in despair." Anubis raised his staff defiantly, the ink glowing with divine light. "You underestimate the will of my children. They are bound by honor, a bond stronger than chaos." The clash of dark and light erupted into a storm, swirling energies colliding with terrifying force. The air was thick with tension as Anubis stood firm against the Harbinger's onslaught, illuminating the shadows that threatened to engulf them. Kale, feeling the weight of the battle's intensity, turned to his comrades. "We must protect Anubis. He is our guiding light." With renewed determination, Kale, Alara, and Silas charged toward the Harbinger, a courage igniting a spark in the hearts of the other souls. They fought through the chaos, each step a testament to their defiance. Anubis, sensing the unity of his warriors, unleashed a final surge of power, channeling their collective strength into the Ankh. "You will fall, Harbinger, your reign of terror ends here." With a blinding flash of light, Anubis unleashed a torrent of energy that enveloped the Harbinger. The air crackled with the essence of ancient power, and the darkness trembled in fear. The Harbinger let out a primal scream as the light consumed him. "No, this cannot be," he shrieked, but there was no escape from the radiant force that enveloped him. The chaos spirits fled, scattering into the shadows, their hold on the underworld broken. With a final, explosive burst, the Harbinger vanished, leaving only the echoes of his despair. Silence enveloped the hall, the warriors standing amidst the remnants of the battle, their hearts filled with exhaustion and triumph. Anubis surveyed the scene, a proud smile breaking through his somber demeanor. "You have proven your worth, my children. You are no longer lost souls. You are warriors of the underworld, guardians of light against the encroaching darkness." Kale stepped forward, fatigue etched into his features, but determination never wavering. "We will stand ready, Anubis. The chaos spirits may retreat, but we know they will return. We will prepare for the battles yet to come." Alara nodded, her heart ignited with hope. "Together, we can forge a future where no soul has to wander lost. We will protect our realm and uphold our legacy." And so, amidst the remnants of their victory, the warriors forged an unbreakable bond with Anubis, a pact to guard the underworld against the tides of chaos. The destinies intertwine, they embrace the challenge ahead, ready to face whatever darkness dared to encroach upon their sanctuary. With their spirits united, they began to prepare for the next battle in the eternal war against chaos, knowing that honor, perseverance, and the memories of their past would guide them through the trials yet to come. *End of Part 2. In the wake of their hard-won victory, the hall of Anubis pulsed with an electric energy, the air thick with undying spirit of the warriors who had fought bravely against the forces of chaos. Yet beneath the surface of their triumph lay an undercurrent of tension, and knowing that the Harbinger's defeat was but a temporary reprieve. They understood that the war waged in shadows would return with greater ferocity, and so they prepared, forging their bonds into an unyielding weapon against the impending storm. Anubis stood before them, his dark visage illuminated by the faint glow of the Ankh, now a symbol of hope as much as of the afterlife. "Tonight we reignite the fires of our ancestors," he declared, his voice a deep rumble that echoed through the vast chamber. "For in their tales lie the strategies we need, the wisdom to face the darkness that draws near." Kale, the knight with the starlight sword, stepped forward, his heart steeled by the memories of his fallen comrades. "What must we do, my lord? We are ready to learn and to fight." Anubis nodded. "We will summon the spirits of the great heroes who have come before us. Their essences hold the knowledge of battles long past the triumphs and the tragedies. We must honor them to gain the strength necessary to face the Harbinger when he returns." Alara, ever the vigilant archer, felt a thrill at the prospect. "Let us call upon them. Their guidance will awaken our resolve and sharpen our skills." The god of the afterlife raised his staff, channeling his divine energy into the air, forming intricate glyphs that danced like fireflies in the gloom. "Spirits of valor and honor," he Mycalthian turned, the chamber vibrating with his command. "Rise and join us." As the words echoed, a chill swept through the hall, shadows coalescing into recognizable forms. Spectral figures materialized before them, legendary warriors adorned with armor glimmering under the spectral light. Among them was Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess of war, and Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky, their presences commanding respect and awe. "Anubis!" Sekhmet's voice rang out, strong and fierce as the roar of a lion. "You summon us in a time of turmoil, speak of our purpose." With solemn gravitas, Anubis introduced the gathered souls. "These warriors stand as the guardians of the underworld. They have proved their mettle against the chaos spirits, but seek your wisdom to prepare for the Harbinger's inevitable return." Horus, his eyes shimmering with the wisdom of ages, stepped forward. "In the face of chaos, you must understand that it is not merely strength you need, but unity. Your bonds are your greatest weapon. Forge them until they are unbreakable." Kale, absorbing every word, felt the weight of responsibility settle upon his shoulders. "We will not falter. We will make our bonds stronger." "Good," Sekhmet replied, her fierce gaze piercing into each warrior's heart. "But remember, to wield your powers, to balance it with the heart, honor your past, and let it guide your future." Anubis raised his staff, his voice steady. "Let us begin with training. We shall form a circle, each warrior sharing their strengths and weaknesses, their stories and sorrows. It is through sharing that you will forge indomitable bonds." As the warriors gathered, they shared tales of their past lives, stories woven with laughter, pain, love, and loss. Kale recounted his battles as a knight, the honor of defending a kingdom, while Alara spoke of her longing for family, a past echoing in each arrow she had loosed. Silas, the fiery warrior, opened his heart, revealing the scars of betrayal that had forged his spirit anew. In turn, the spirits of the ancestors shared their own stories of sacrifice and valor, of battles fought under the blazing sun and in the shrouded night. They spoke of losses that became victories, and victories that left haunting shadows. As the circle expanded, a sense of camaraderie enveloped them, binding them tighter with each revelation. Days turned into nights, filled with training that tested their limits, sparring under the watchful eyes of the gods, honing their skulls. The air crackled with energy as Kale and Silas practiced swordplay, while Alara and Sekhmet honed their archery, the arrows whistling through the air with deadly precision. But amidst the fervor of preparation, a dark presence loomed over the underworld. The Harbinger, having retreated into the depths of chaos, was scheming, plotting revenge. He seethed with hatred for the warriors and the god who dared defy him, rallying his remaining chaos spirits like a storm gathering force. "Fools," he spat, his voice a hiss that echoed through the shadows. "They think they can win this war with courage and unity. I will show them the true meaning of despair." In a moment of grim inspiration, he summoned forth a being of pure malice, a creature born from the darkest corners of the abyss. It was the Nightbringer, a monstrous entity with wings of shadow and eyes that glowed like dying embers. "Go forth, Nightbringer," he commanded. strike at their hearts before they can prepare, bring chaos to their training. As the Nightbringer took flight, its wings casting a pall over the underworld, Anubis sensed the shift in the air. The whispers of the lost souls grew frantic, and a chill crept into the hearts of the warriors. "Prepare," he shouted, raising his staff. "A new threat approaches." In that moment, the warriors stood firm, their resolve tested but unbroken. "We faced the chaos once," Kale declared, his starlit sword held aloft. "We will face it again, stronger and united." As the Nightbringer descended upon them, darkness enveloped the hall, clashing against the unity of the warriors who stood their ground. Shadows writhed like serpents, clawing at their hearts, but they remembered the power of their bonds, each soul as light igniting the other as spirit. Alara, with her bow drawn, let fly a volley of arrows, each imbued with the essence of the warriors gathered. "We stand as one," she cried, and the arrows found their mark, striking against the Nightbringer's form, illuminating the darkness around them. Silas, channeling the flames within him, unleashed a torrent of fire, engulfing the shadows in a blaze of light. "Together, we burn away the night," he roared, the flames roaring in response, lighting their path. Kale charged forward, his sword glowing brightly, slicing through the darkness. "Face us, creature, we are the echoes of valor. We will not be cowed." The Nightbringer howled, its form twisting as it absorbed the blows, but the warriors' cohesion pierced through the malice surrounding it. Guided by Anubis' wisdom, they harnessed their collective strength, merging their powers into a single, radiant force. With a fierce cry, Anubis struck the ground with the ankh, unleashing a shockwave of light that reverberated through the hall. "This is our home, and we will defend it." The combined essence of the warriors surged forth, a dazzling display of light and energy that converged on the Nightbringer. "You cannot extinguish our flame," Kale shouted, the light erupting in a final surge that exploded against the creature's form. In an instant, the shadows dissipated, and the Nightbringer let out a final, anguished wail, its form dissolving into nothingness. The darkness lifted, replaced by a triumphant light that filled the hall, igniting the spirits of the warriors and the gathered ancestors. Breathless, they stood amidst the remnants of chaos, hearts racing with the thrill of victory. Anubis turned to them, pride shining in his eyes. "You have faced the darkness and emerged victorious, but know this, the Harbinger is still out there, plotting his next move." Kale stepped forward, determination etched across his features. "We will be ready, Anubis. We have faced the shadows and survived. Together, we will confront whatever lies ahead." Alara nodded, her heart ablaze with the fire of defiance. "This is our legacy. We will forge it in light and honor." And as they stood united, their souls entwined with the echoes of the past and the promise of the future, a new chapter began, a chapter of hope, defiance, and the unwavering spirit of those who dared to stand against the chaos threatening to consume their world. End of Part 3. In the shadowed depths of the underworld, a palpable tension lingered. Anubis, the god of the afterlife, stood at the heart of the great hall, surrounded by his brave warriors. The echoes of their victory against the Nightbringer still reverberated in the air, but beneath the thrill of triumph lay the ominous weight of uncertainty. They could feel it, the harbinger of dread was lurking, plotting his next move. "Prepare yourselves," Anubis commanded, his voice a deep rumble echoing against the stone walls adorned with hieroglyphs. "The Harbinger will not rest until he has exacted his vengeance. We must be vigilant." Kale, with his starlit sword glowing at his side, stepped forward, the fire of determination igniting within him. "We will not yield to fear, Anubis. We have faced the horrors of chaos and emerged stronger. Let him come. We are ready." Alara, the archer with a heart as fierce as the bow she wielded, nodded in agreement. "We stand united. Let the Harbinger send forth his minions. We will show them the strength born from our bonds, the legacy of those we have lost." Anubis raised his hand, the ankh pulsating with an otherworldly light. "Then let us summon the wisdom of our ancestors once more. They shall guide us in the trials that lie ahead." With those words, the god invoked the spirits of the great warriors who had come before them. The air shimmered with divine energy, and the familiar forms of legendary fighters appeared once more. Sekhmet, fierce and unyielding, glowed with the warrior's intensity, while Horus, with keen eyes, watched over the gathered souls. "Anubis, you summon us again in a time of turmoil," Sekhmet intoned, her voice resonating with the power of the battlefield. "What guidance do you seek?" "The Harbinger plots in the shadows," Anubis replied, the urgency in his tone palpable. "Help us prepare for the storm that yet looms. We need your wisdom to forge our destiny in light, to stand firm against the darkness. Then we shall train you," Horus stated, his gaze piercing through the crowd. But remember, it is not merely skill that wins battles, it is the heart, the unity that binds you, that will become your strongest weapon. Days turned into weeks as the warriors trained tirelessly under the watchful eyes of the gods. They practiced relentlessly, their spirits intertwined with the essence of the departed heroes. The hall of Anubis thrummed with energy as they honed their skills, sparring under the watchful guidance of Sekhmet, who taught them the art of combat and resilience. Kael, wielding his starlight sword, moved like a flash of light, each swing resonating with power. "Strike true," he shouted, the sound of metal against metal ringing in the air. Alara, quick on her feet, danced around him, her arrows flying true as they struck against the targets crafted from shadows. Silas, the fiery spirit, practiced summoning flames, each flicker igniting the hearts of his companions. "We shall burn away the darkness that dares to encroach upon us," he roared, flames swirling around him like a protective aura. As they trained, they shared laughter and stories, creating bonds forged in the crucible of adversity. Memories of their past lives intertwined with their present struggles, each warrior finding strength in the pain and joy of their journeys. But amidst this fervor, the Harbinger was indeed plotting a storm was brewing. In the dark corners of the abyss, he summoned forth a cotter of chaos spirits, their forms twisted and grotesque, bound to his will by the shadows of despair. "Fools," he hissed, pacing in his dark lair, a menacing figure cloaked in shadows. "They think they can escape my grasp. I will unleash my wrath upon them, and they will know the true meaning of despair." As he spoke, a creature emerged from the depths, an abomination born of pure malice, a shadow worm. Its scales glimmered like obsidian, and its eyes burned with a hunger for destruction. "Go forth, shadow worm," the Harbinger commanded, "and bring chaos to the training grounds. Let them feel the weight of their arrogance." The shadow worm took to the skies, its massive wings casting a dark pall over the world below as it swooped down toward the hall of Anubis. The chaos it brought was palpable, warping the very essence of the underworld. Meanwhile, within the hall, Kael and Alara had just finished a grueling training session, their muscles sore but their spirits high. The air crackled with the energy of their shared triumphs, but suddenly, a shadow fell over them in darkness that chilled their bones. Anubis raised his staff, sensing the disturbance in the air. "Prepare yourselves, the Harbinger has sent forth a new threat," he shouted, the ink glowing with urgency. The warriors immediately armed themselves, the camaraderie they had forged igniting their spirits as they faced this new challenge. "Together," Kael commanded, his starlight sword illuminating the path ahead. "We will stand against whatever darkness dares to approach." As the massive form of the shadow worm descended, the warriors felt the very ground tremble beneath their feet. The air filled with the harrowing sound of its shrieks, a cacophony that echoed through the hall, urging despair into their hearts. Alara notched an arrow, her hands steady. "We will not falter, let our unity be our strength." The worm landed with a thunderous crash, its monstrous eyes scanning the gathered warriors with predatory malice. "Foolish souls," it roared, its voice a chilling echo. "You shall be devoured by the darkness you so foolishly defy." "Not today," Kael shouted, charging forward. "We are not mere shadows, we are guardians of the light." With a powerful swing, he struck at the creature with his starlight sword. The blade glimmered, illuminating the dark with each strike, but the worm retaliated, swinging its tail like a storm. The warriors rallied around Kael, joining forces. Alara unleashed a barrage of arrows, each imbued with their combined essence, illuminating the shadows around them. "Feel our resolve," she cried, her arrows striking true, embedding in the worm's hide. Silas, fueled by the fire within him, unleashed a torrent of flames that danced around the creature, creating a wall of fire that kept his claws at bay. "Together, we burn away the night," he roared, his flames illuminating the darkness, pushing back against the encroaching shadows. But the shadow worm, fierce and relentless, twisted and turned, its scales absorbing the light, warping the energy around them. "You cannot defeat me, I am chaos incarnate," it bellowed, lunging forward, its maw gaping wide to swallow the brave soul's whole. Anubis, watching from the heart of the chaos, raised his staff high, channeling his divine energy into the warriors. "Remember your unity. Your strength lies in your bond. Strike as one." With a fierce roar, Kael and his companions surged forward, igniting the energies they had forged through their trials. They combined their powers, Kael's sword blazing with radiant light, Alara's arrows piercing through the darkness, and Silas's flames creating a barrier against the shadows that threatened to engulf them. Together, they struck with all their might, launching a blinding assault against the shadow worm. Each blow resonated with their shared spirits, each strike a testament to their unity. "For honor, for our legacy," Kael shouted, raising his sword high as he cleaved through the worm's defenses. In a climactic surge, they combined their powers into a single, radiant attack. Anubis joined them, channeling his divine essence into the heart of their assault. "Now, strike true," he commanded, then glowing with blinding light. As their energies coalesced, the darkness that had once threatened to engulf them erupted into a brilliant explosion of light, piercing through the shadows and enveloping the shadow worm in a radiant embrace. The creature howled in agony, its form disintegrating into a swirl of chaos as the warriors stood firm, united in their defiance. In the aftermath, the great hall was once again filled with the echoes of victory, though the air remained thick with the weight of what lay ahead. Breathing heavily, Kale lowered his sword, a sense of triumph surging through him. "We did it, together. We stood against the darkness." Alara smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "This is the power of our bonds. We are not lost souls. We are warriors, guardians of the underworld." Anubis stepped forward, his expression proud yet solemn. "You have proven your worth once more, but remember, the Harbinger remains and will not cease his attempts to reclaim his dominance over the shadows. We must prepare for his return." Kale, his heart ablaze with resolve, nodded. "We will stand together, Anubis. We will not allow his chaos to consume our realm. We are ready for whatever challenges lie ahead." As the warriors